there's a civil libertarian argument for why people ought to be able to get high, right?
Sure.
Um, and it's important to recognize that that is not the argument that won the day in this debate. They did not legalize marijuana because they respect your civil liberties in the DFL. All right. That's not
Yes.
why they did it.
True.
The reason why they did it is for this DEI, social emotional learning, woke social welfare, social equity nonsense. It's a political move. It's all about politics and it's all about social engineering. Imagine, if you will, in the prohibition era, when it was illegal
Yeah.
to produce, distribute, and sell alcohol. Imagine if, instead of just repealing that amendment and getting back to the way things were before, they decided, well, you know what? Here's what we're going to do. We're going to go through and we're going to audit and we're going to arbitrarily determine who we think were the people who were most impacted by the horrors of prohibition. And then we're going to let those people sell booze, but the rest of you can't. Right.
See, this is my point. I use this. So we have 60 people so far in for this 250 million stolen for feed our children, right? 60 of them. When we come up with the next deal about how to help our children, whatever it would be, daycare, I don't care what it is. Do they get to go to the front of the line because they're empathetic and they got to, why would we take anybody who broke the law before, whether the law was right or wrong? Okay. And somehow you're now a better person because I don't get how you go to the front of this line. And DEI, are they presuming then that, of course, means you're of color or
Yeah.
that's it, right? You have to go to the front line because of your skin color, because marijuana laws to you were less illegal than they were for the white guy who did it.
You know what this is, and I believe, although I can't immediately recall off the top of my head, that this has actually been said publicly by the people who've advocated for it. This is reparations. This is a form of reparations. That's how they view this. You talk about treating people who have been prosecuted for crimes under the previous legal status quo,
Mm-hmm.
and then treating them like Civil War heroes or something, right?
Yeah.
Like we need to lift them up and give them, treat them like combat veterans because they got caught selling drugs on the corner. That's where we're at.
Can you give me any thought on why in the world the idea you don't have to have an address for your business to get the license? What in the world? This is a business. Name another business we have in the state that you're allowed not to have not to have an address to run your business. I mean, we're talking out of your car.
Property is white privilege. What don't you understand?
Oh, you sound like my children. My three boys, all going through the university system, all come out at me, and every time I say it's your right privilege, they just know it. Just you're going to pop my head off. I can't think of one legitimate other than, like you're saying, okay, well, this is somehow homeless people get a better ride. I cannot see how a state survives by finding out you can sell marijuana without a place of business. Why would you give you a license? Well, next, we're obviously going to offer these people. I presume there's a cost to getting these licenses. It cost me $150 to get my driver's license because I wanted the fancy one that they've got. I presume we'll wipe that off if you're the right person, because that would hold them back. If you don't have a business place, you probably don't have $150 to get a license, right? I mean, we seem to be holding people back that way. Where does it
Yeah,
stop?
I mean, I don't know that it does. And that's just it, is that they're so concerned about trying to quote unquote equalize outcomes and using this for social equity purposes and economic equity purposes, as opposed to the civil libertarian argument, which is, I think I ought to be able to do this as an individual. Like that, again, that is not the argument that prevailed in this process. They are not interested in enabling you to do what you have a right to do as an individual. What they're interested in is providing pathways for people who, in their view and estimation, have been underprivileged, with unique opportunities to rise up. And apparently selling weed
Yeah.
is their preferred
Way out.
ideal way to go about doing that.